Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening. I am back. Welcome to Living Today. And this is your host, Sharice Irons, the CEO and founder of Irons Group LLC. And this is where we inspire and empower female school leaders to discover their purpose, leverage their strengths, sharpen their skills through perseverance, passion, and teamwork. I hope you guys missed me because I certainly missed all of you. And I'm so excited to be back. So thank you guys so much for joining me. If this is your first time in our community, welcome to the Iron Sharpening community. Welcome to all of our guests and our first timers. And for all of our returning Iron Sharpeners, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited to have you guys here. And this is Living Today and Friday Night Highlights. And as you can see, we have our amazing guest, Maria Antoinette. Say hello to Mariani, guys. Make sure that you give her a shout out and make sure you share. So say hi to everybody, Mariani.
Hello.
Okay. So let me just, I just want to make sure that I share that on the pages and all the platforms. So this week, I've been talking a lot of people about finances and going through financial stuff. We've all set goals for ourselves for 2021. Everyone's been, setting goals. And one of the things that, we focus on servant leadership here and talking to servant leaders. And oftentimes we talk about a lot of different topics and things like that. But for the next few months, few weeks, we're going to be talking to people who are serving in the financial community. Now, since COVID has come around, we've had a lot of different impacts. Health, people have had issues with their health. People have had issues in losing their jobs, careers, all kinds of different things have affected families and all of that. So tonight we're going to talk about getting our financial houses in order. And we're going to be hitting those topics and talking about finances a lot over the next few weeks. And I'll be talking to different guests and bringing people on talking about money. And we're going to talk about money in different capacities. So we'll have a tax attorney on. We'll have people talking about investing. We'll have people talking about getting Mariani's here tonight talking about credit and estate planning and all of that. And you're probably thinking, Sharice, really? You want to start off the year talking about money? And I have to say, yes, we need to talk about money, people. Because here's why. For me, I had a life-changing issue. And if this is your first time here, you don't really know my story. For me, I had a life-altering event happen to me in my health and in my life and with my body. And part of it was I was prepared. And then with some things, I wasn't prepared. I didn't have a will at the time when I got really sick. And let me just tell you, when your life flashes before your eyes and you're having to sit down and have that conversation, that's probably not the best time to make financial decisions when you're really sick. It's not a good time. So for me, I had to make that decision at a point in my life when I was extremely ill. And then I had some monies and things that I had to decide where I was able to use those monies to take care of my living expenses because I had prepared. But how many of us are prepared for that? Do you have a will? Do you have a trust? Do you have, your health, your directives, things written down, your healthcare proxy, all these things we don't want to talk about, the things that we need to really think about. Is your credit in order? Are you really prepared for these conversations? How many of you have the desire to, give a scholarship, support, a local nonprofit, give from your excess, not have to really, want to be able to just lay down, go to sleep at night and not stress so much. And you're saying to me, but Sharice, I just lost my job. We got COVID-19. We have all these things. Well, before COVID-19, were you really ready? Let's just be honest. And this is a come to Jesus real conversation right now. Okay, let's just be honest. So Mariani is one of the people in the financial community who's helping people. So I'm going to introduce you to her tonight because this is what we're going to talk about. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. And then she's going to help us out a little bit with some things. Okay? Because she's all about money and she loves talking about it. So Mariani was born in Atlanta, Georgia. She's a true Georgia peach, you guys. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful? I love her so much. She grew up in Decatur, Georgia. She was very active in school, a cheerleader, softball player. She played the flute, trombone. She was voted most likely to succeed in high school. She was nominated 3 times in her career as Teacher of the Year. She retired at the age of 39, okay, from the business that she's involved in, the credit business, which allowed her to retire after being involved 3 months. Now, for all my educators out there, I'm a former educator. Mariani and I, we have that in common. We're both retired educators. And she retired after doing the business she's doing after 3 months. We'll talk about that. She has a bachelor's in mass communication, a minor in English, master's in early childhood education. She's a licensed minister. She has, her business is called Nan Financial Group, where she is a financial coach specializing in financial literacy and credit restoration services. Okay, she is also a top real estate professional. She's a mother of 3, single mom of 3, and she still finds time to be a proud member of the AKA sorority. She serves in her church. She's a published author. Hold up that book, please. Show it to the people. The book just came out, you guys. I need her to show it. Yes, published author. Congratulations.
Thank
And
you.
has aspirations to be a motivational speaker. So Mariani, this is your opportunity. We're going to talk and we're going to relax and share and we just want to welcome her. So guys, just shout it out, welcome her to the community and just say congratulations to her. We're honoring her tonight. So let's just get started with our questions. So so Mariani, let's talk about 2020. You know, we know that was a hard year. So let's talk about some wins and learns for you. What were some wins in 2020 and what were some things that you learned about you and yourself, home, career, school, you know, work, and beyond? Just talk to me a little bit about that. Tell us.
Absolutely. So first of all, let me say thank you so much, Sharice, for this platform. It is an honor and a pleasure to be able to be on your show tonight. So thank you so much for that. So you're
Absolutely.
right. 2020 absolutely just blew everybody's mind, right? Before March, everything was normal, right? And then March came and everything just kind of went topsy-turvy. And actually, in the midst of the start of the virus, the start of the pandemic, I was actually in a horrific car accident. So I actually started the pandemic off with a 15-stay day in the hospital, right there in the midst of the pandemic, right? But you know what, Sharice, one of the things that I continue to recognize about myself, and it's not to boast, but I always try to find the good in every situation, right? So even though I'm in the hospital in the midst of all of the, you know, the virus going on and the pandemic, you know, there's always something that we can find good out of every situation. So, you know, a lot of people will say 2020, I understand that so many lost lives, and that is a tragedy. And that's a tragedy. There's no but behind that. There is some good though that came out of 2020. There's some good that came out of 2020. What I realized in 2020 is that, you know, we are, as a people, we are much stronger than we realize. As a mother, for myself, you know, yes, I'm an entrepreneur, but my kids go to school. They go away from the house, right? So now they're with me every single day, you know. So even that experience right there just allowed me to be able to love on them even more. So just treasuring what we have, you know. Sometimes we take for granted just the little things, you know. Who knows if I send my child off to school and they come back, right? But right now they're right there with me. So just, you know, 2020, I try not to even look at the negative, but more so what did I gain from it? I gained more time with my children. I gained more time. We gained more time being in the Word together. You know, 2020 was not necessarily a bad situation, and I guess it's because I intentionally choose to focus on the positive.
And I love what you said about intentionally choosing to focus on the positive and treasuring more time with your kids. You know, because had you not had that, how, you know, you would not, you know, most of the time you would have been running, busy, doing this, doing that, and it allowed you all this time to slow down and to be with your children. So what were some of the major pivots that you had to make, you would say, in your life? Because you're a financial coach, you're a realtor, you know, what were some pivots that you had to make in your personal life and professional?
So with my business, I do a lot of face-to-face interaction with, you know, organizations and companies, and because we're in this pandemic, that completely came to a halt, right? So I had to become creative in, okay, how do I continue to work my business? How do I continue to lead this massive team that I have, not only for me to be successful, but for them to see that we can move through this pandemic and still be successful. So, you know, I just started one. I'm you know, I hear from God. So if I'm questioning something, it's like, okay, God, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me, give me what we need for, you know, this time right here, because we know it's a season. It's not going to always, we're not going to always be in this pandemic. So this is just a season. So I had to become more creative, which was not a bad thing. You know, because the thing about it is, once we come out of the pandemic, guess what? We've learned alternative ways to keep the business moving forward. You know, and I think that has happened for a lot of people, even with being an educator, Sharice. You know, we're so into brick and mortar, right? But now I think school districts really realize we don't necessarily need a building, and particularly the church. You know, we don't need a building. We don't need a building. Still, ministry can still go forward. So it just allowed me to become creative in this new space.
That's good. So, and you're right. I've seen a lot of people do so many more creative things, and definitely you've increased your, you know, I mean, this is not, I mean, new technology is something that I had to learn really quickly to do, you know, to do my show, you know, be able to do these things and pivot and learn to do those things. So creativity definitely is something that we've had to learn to do. So let's talk a little bit about what you do in terms of finances and all of that, right? So you are in your business. So talk to me a little bit about how you serve the community in that capacity. So talk about, I mean, I guess I should just like let it rip. I mean, I don't want to say go wild, but you know what I'm talking about. So let's talk a little bit about your financial coaching business. At the beginning, I shared that you were able to retire. Let me look into the camera. Retire at 39. From education, okay, because of the business that you do. Talk to me about financial coaching and what that is.
Absolutely. So first of all, you know, particularly in our community, financial literacy is not something that's taught. You and I, and probably everybody on this show, knows that financial literacy is not even in our school curriculum. So unfortunately, we are not made privy to some of the things that our counterparts are made privy to. So, you know, I got this information back in February, and once I heard about, I didn't have any negative items on my credit report. However, Sharice, like you said earlier, I didn't have a will. If I can be honest, I'm very well educated, but I didn't even know what a trust was. I didn't know what a trust was. You know, my parents never taught me what a trust was, so I never knew. So, you know, the thing about it is, if you're not taught something, you don't know. So it's not that you are a bad person, but you just end up in a situation simply because you didn't know. So when the opportunity came, I was like, wow, no, I don't necessarily need the credit services, but I want to be able to help teachers. That was my focus, helping teachers to be able to get student loans off of their credit report. That was it. I just simply wanted to help teachers. And Sharice, I realized that very first week that there were a lot of people in need of this service. I enrolled 8 teachers, not even knowing what I was saying that first week, right? So I was like, my God, there's something to this, right? And so I just started learning my craft, just learning more about financial literacy, and I've always been anal about finances and credit, but my mom or my dad never sat me down, right? So I guess it's just innate. And so I was like, wow, this is something that a lot of people need. And I just started helping more people, and it just spread like a wildfire. And so now, I just help people to realize that they do not have to walk around with bad credit. Like, there is a law out there that I leverage to be able to help them get off bankruptcies, to help them get off student loans, to help them get off evictions, repossessions, all of that stuff right there. There's a stigma, like you said it earlier. We don't want to talk about money. Why not? Why not? Money is the most discussed topic in the Bible. It's the most discussed topic in the Bible. And the reality is, we're all going to die. And just like you said earlier, when you become sick, that is not the time to make any decision. So we want to go ahead and be, proactive as opposed to being reactive. So I'm just out here just really educating people, not selling anything, sharing the information that I know and giving it to the people, and those that can take hold of it and say, hey, you know what, and be honest with themselves. You know what, I wasn't taught this. I've ended up with some things on my credit report. I need help. I work with them. That's all I do. Just share the information, help people to get where they want to be.
So I guess I should say this. So last year, I met you, I think it was September. I met Mariani at the Mamathon conference. So one of my other servant leader that was on here, Christina Garrett, she has a group called the Mamathon conference, the Mamathon tribe, and I'm a part of the Mamathon tribe. And Christina had Mariani as one of her guest speakers at the event in September. And I believe I signed up a couple weeks following that with the program. And I mean, like Mariani, I'm a little anal about my credit and stuff like that. So I think I had like 2 things on there. And after 1 round of letters, those items were removed. So I don't even need the service. I really don't need to utilize her services anymore, but I do, because there are some really great services that are offered through the program that Mariani does. So can you share a little bit about what some of those things are? So if I am someone who's listening right now, whether you're watching the replay or not, thank you guys so much for joining us. This is Maria Antoinette, and she's our servant leader highlight for tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining. And we're talking about money, and Mariani is a financial coach. So if you're new to the game, and you just don't need to know. Okay. So we're talking about estate planning and all of that. And this is just the basics that we're doing right now. We're just talking about credit and things like that. And you said something that was very key earlier. You don't know. Some people are ashamed. They don't really want to talk about it. Okay. And they feel like, okay, you know what? I did this and it's never going to change, and people are not going to do it. I can't do this and I can't do that. Can you just share a little bit about what it is? What are some of the services that you offer?
Absolutely. So, of course, the primary service is the credit restoration. And as I stated, that is where we actually legally dispute any negative item. So it doesn't matter if the item is legitimately yours. There's a law that's called the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which essentially says nobody gave the credit bureaus to put that information on your credit report. So that's how we're able to get those items off. Some of the other services that our clients get, like you just said, is a will. They get a trust. They get a medical and financial power of attorney. They get a net worth system. How powerful is that? So, a lot of people out here, Sharice, they know the net worth of Beyonce and Jay-Z and all of these, other people. But what are you worth financially, right? So a lot of people don't understand that, once they weigh their liabilities against their assets, they really see that, oh my gosh, I'm really not worth anything financially, right? You're worth a lot in God's eye, but financially, on paper, what are you really worth? We have an awesome budgeting tool, and I go heavily into that with my clients because it's okay to eat Starbucks or drink Starbucks. It's okay to buy Chick-fil-A, but God bless you. How much money are you allocating towards Chick-fil-A? How much money are you allocating towards those random quick trip stops, right? Let's learn to tell our money where to go as opposed to our money telling us where to go. So put a limit in place. So yes, you want Starbucks. Okay, budget $50 for Starbucks. And once you get to $49.86, guess what? You're not buying anything for 14 cents in Starbucks. So you're done with Starbucks for the month. Okay, there's an awesome debt payoff plan. I absolutely love that service. I use it myself. My mortgage and my vehicles will be paid off in 2022. Why? Because I have a plan, right? So I'm not just out here just haphazardly paying on something. So there's a debt payoff plan. There's a financial lockbox. You all, there's a plethora of services. Our goal is not just to get your credit together, but to make sure that you are financially sound all the way around, because it doesn't make sense for somebody, Sharice, to have an 800 credit score and then they die without a will, and now the probate system has to decide where their assets go.
That part. See, and I actually know, well, okay, we'll talk about him later, but it's really funny because you said, let's learn to tell our money where to go rather than our money telling us where to go. Okay, so I think that what I'm hearing you say is that there are a ton of services that you offer, but I think the key is that you need to have a plan.
Yes.
And the plan cannot and should not be when you're in a crisis.
Right. Being proactive.
You need to be proactive. And you said something about probate. I actually know an attorney who does that. Like I'm in a networking group with him, and he's constantly talking about those conversations. It's not a good thing to have those conversations at the end with someone versus, he's always saying, hey, if you know anybody who needs to do their planning now, it's better to do it at the front of when you're in a situation where your mind is right and things are right and everything is right, versus at the end when you're in a crisis. So I'm so glad that you said that. So if you're just joining us, this is Maria Antoinette, and she's a financial coach, and she provides financial services. And I'm going to put her number up in a second so you guys can contact and reach out to her to ask her any other questions. She's also a real estate professional. So, obviously when you get your credit right, then you may want to buy a house or buy a home or property. So like, how are you serving in your community with that? Because I see you post videos all the time, getting people into houses and helping people, find homes. I know you love doing that. That is something that you're very passionate about as well. So share a little bit about that.
Yes, ma'am. So, and I sure will. So it's funny, Sharice, because I've never thought about being a realtor. Never thought about being a realtor. But what happened was, as I continued to help people get their credit restored, I noticed that there was a trend of people who were coming to me to get their credit restored. Why? Because they were trying to get into a home. Well, I'm not a realtor. Guess what I'm doing? I'm sending them off to different real estate agents. So last year I got licensed. Well, December 2019, I got licensed, and actually closed almost $3 million in sales within my first year. Yeah, because yeah, and I hear that that's like really, really amazing. I'm just out here just serving people. One thing I don't do is I don't do anything for money. Everything I do, and that's the God honest truth, everything I do is unto God. I live my life to serve one purpose, and that's to serve God, right? And so he just continues to send people my way, and I just continue to serve them and honor them. And that's how people just continue to come to me. I had a lady today. She said, so and so referred you to me. I want you to list my house. I'm going to her tomorrow. So it's for me, Sharice, one of the things is, when you do right by people are going to talk one way or the other, right? So my goal is to give people something good to talk about, right? So I take everything I do, like you said, I'm anal, OCD, type A personality, whatever you want to call it, but I always like to operate in excellence, right? So that's just my thing. I'm about serving people with excellence, and that's why they continue to come. And that's how I got into real estate. Is I never thought about real estate, but now I can't unthink about real estate.
Well, we have some ladies here, Ashaki Brunson, Marcella. She's in my BNI group. We call her the godmother. She said,
Okay.
if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. She's the
Absolutely.
banker in our chapter, and she's all about the money. Okay. She's
Absolutely.
always talking to us about money. So we just want, she'll be on the show next talking about banking and getting your money in order.
Awesome.
So like I said, we're talking about money, guys, and finances is a very important thing in getting your money right. So here's the thing. Mariani gave us a lot of tips earlier about, credit restoration services and all of that. So I'm going to put up her information in a second, but let me just ask you another question. So I often ask my guests to give listeners an iron sharpening thought. So whether you are a businesswoman, whether you are in, for your personal financing, what would you tell somebody? Maybe they feel like, you know what, there is no hope for me with my finances right now. I am too far gone. I've spent too much money at Starbucks. My credit is a hot mess. What would you say to somebody like that? Like give them something.
Can I say one word?
Mm-hmm.
And it just came to mind. Start.
There you have it.
Start. And that's the and if when you think about that word, and that literally just came to mind. This is not a scripted conversation, so I had no idea that you was going to ask that, but start came to mind. So even when you're thinking about, you just said, okay, my finances are out of whack. Start. Okay, my credit is out of whack. Start fixing it. Okay, going back to my finances are out of whack. Start saving. I don't know how to budget. Find somebody. Start. I'm overweight. Start losing weight. Start walking. I'm this right. Start. Just every action has to be started. I hope I'm making sense. You can't get to the finish line without starting. So if I could leave anybody on this line with a word, is start. It doesn't, wherever you are, start, because where you start is not where you're going to finish, right? This life is called a process, right? It's a process. We're going to go over some hurdles. We're going to go in some ditches. We're going to have some highs and some lows. That's fine. Just start and don't stop. Start. That's it. Yeah. Just start working on your credit. You didn't get where you are overnight. Guess what? Just start and understand that you're not going to get where you want to be overnight. But if you never start, then you're going to remain stagnant. So, I don't want to just leave that word for your financial life, but, just start. So what? You've been eating unhealthy for the first 15 days of the year. Start eating healthy now. Right now is a good time to start everything that's up here. Take what's up here and put it into action. Start.
Well, there you have it. Start. Okay. So let me not let you get off here. We need to talk about this. So you are a published author. Okay. I wish I had my book so I could scream I can't really scream and run around the room. I could, but I don't want to. I can't. Can you hold up your book? Hold up the book.
Yes, I would love to.
I'm so excited. So tell us about the book, Discovering 365 Days of Sunshine. Guys, let me tell you. So she wrote a book. Tell us about the book.
Yes. So Sharice, guess what? I had to start. And guess how many times I wanted to stop?
Ooh.
But had I stopped, you wouldn't be receiving this book. I had to start. God gave me the vision for this, and I didn't even really know the full scope of what he was giving me, but I had started writing scriptures down years ago. So he was doing something. I just didn't know what he was doing. And last year, 2020, he never gave me the full vision of it. He was just giving me piece by piece. So I had to start. And what I did was, I don't know everything. Very well educated, but I don't know everything. So I reached out to somebody and I said, hey, I think I'm going to need your help. We don't know everything, Sharice. We don't know everything, So
I like the part where you said, I think I'm going to need your help.
Yes.
Because sometimes we don't want to do that.
Right.
And I'm going to look at, sometimes we never want to say we need help. But yep. I'll let you continue. Keep talking.
Yep. So I reached out to this lady and I said, and the reality is, Sharice, I was very slow with contacting her because this is a book right here, you all, that, somebody asked me, somebody asked me, did you always want to write a book? No, 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 I did not. No, I did not. This is God's vision right here, right? And because of the magnitude of this right here, there was such a heavy mantle on me, because my thought process was always, God, who am I to be publishing a prayer journal for some people? I'm an imperfect person serving a perfect God, right? Who am I to be writing this right here? So I paused, I started, and then guess what? And that's okay, you all. It's okay to start and pause. Just don't stop. So this book right here is it's a book that God gave me, and I promise you, where God guides, He provides. I'm gonna say that one more time. Where God guides, He provides. This is God's book. God provided the individual that helped me to bring His vision to pass. This is not my book. So understand, where God is not going to order something that He's not willing to pay for.
Oh God, wait a minute now. Okay, so where God guides, He provides, and He's not going to what? Order something
that not want to order something that He's not willing to pay for. God is not going to put you out there without giving you the resources. So even as we talk about finances, guess what? You might not have known who to contact to get your credit restored. You might not have known who to contact to get into a home or whatever. Maybe you thought renting was the end all be all. It's not, but now God has provided you one with Sharice Irons, right, who has connected with me and brought me onto this platform. So there is no reason that anybody should get off of this call with bad credit. Okay, you've been given the information. What do they say? When you know better, you can do better. So if you weren't on this call, if you didn't listen to this information, well, you still would have been in the blind, right? But now you have seen the light. God has provided you what you need. So don't allow, your pride to get in the way. Guess what? There are 71 million plus people with a 599 or lower credit score. You're not the only one. And if I could move fast forward real quick, Sharice, no, I did not have any negative items on my credit report when I started. You all, 2019, I had a near-death experience in Vegas while we were at our company's convention. I missed the convention. I was there, but I was hospitalized for another 14 days. That was 2019. Jesus, my God. I was hospitalized for 14 days in 2019. The devil is trying to take me out, but he won't have me. In 2020, I was hospitalized for 15 days, right? But in 2019, I had $500,000 in medical bills. Guess what? Even if I wanted to pay that, I'm not paying it. Put it on my credit. Why? Because I know about the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And guess what? Those medical bills, those collections are off. So don't allow your pride to stop you from getting the good credit that you deserve.
Well, I mean, I don't listen. I brought her on here for a reason. Servant leader highlights. That's why I called them. So let me just say this, guys. If you're just joining us, thank you all so much for joining us, and welcome to Living Today. And this is our Friday night Servant Leader Highlights. This is Maria Antoinette. She's a financial coach, author, mom of 3. She is out here helping people to free themselves from bondage, because that's what debt is. It's bondage. So if you're in it, it's bondage. If you have no will, no trust, no budget, no nothing, you're in bondage. Okay? So you're a borrower who is a servant to the lender. That is what you are. So I see some ladies on here, and I know one of those powerhouse ladies is Ashaki Bronson Marcellus. She's a banker. She'll be on next in a couple weeks. She'll be talking to you about your banking, getting your life in order too. So there's a reason I wanted to talk about this. And our money, we need to get our financial houses in order, guys. Not when we're in a crisis. I was in a crisis. Mariani knows what it's like to be in a health crisis. And we've seen so many people, loved ones, friends, family. I'm so sick and tired of seeing those GoFundMe page things. Okay? Can I just be honest? I was on a conference led by, I think, the Black Speakers Network the other day, where they led a whole conference. It was a workshop for a whole day, and they said the same thing. And sometimes it's because you don't know. When you don't know, then you just don't know. So for me, I was led to kind of do this, and I wanted to bring Mariani on, and this is her night. And so let me tell you about the servant leaders that I'm seeking. You know, servant leaders that I seek, Mariani, are about being self-aware. They're active listeners. They're compassionate. They're visionary. They're intuitive. They're healers. They're people who look at the whole person. They're community builders. They're stewards. They're committed to other people's growth, and they're persuasive. And I always try to figure out like which one of these really hit home with the servant leader I bring on. And I was like, okay, which one of these is she? Like, you know, which one really like hits home for me? And from the first time I met you, you are extremely compassionate. You wouldn't even when I asked for your bio, you sent me some little thing. You didn't even want to talk about your accomplishments. I'm just like, can you tell me some things that you've done? I mean, please and thank you, because you're just compassionate. You go above and beyond with your clients, of which I am. Okay, I'm a client. So you went above and beyond from the first day I met you, okay, to do that. And you're very compassionate. And I wanted to honor you because you're out here helping people to get financially free. And in getting them financially free, then you're putting them into their homes, you know, becoming first-time home buyers. And you're doing all of that while raising 3 amazing children, you know, and doing amazing work in Georgia, and having these desires to be better, to aspire to be better. And you just lit a fire underneath all of the people listening to this call and watching on the replay. Okay, you told people to get started, and I love that fire. And then you had time to write a journal and a book. I mean, hello, I don't know, but I just wanted to tell you that I'm so proud of you. I am so glad that Christina introduced us, that we had the opportunity to cross paths, and I'm so honored to honor you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on here, this is your moment to say congratulations, and the Iron Sharpening community and the Living Today show. And we would just like to say thank you for being a servant leader. Thank you for putting others first and leading and showing people what it means to be a servant leader. Because listen, I don't know about you guys, but you can still be a servant and a leader and still it's still classy, it's still sexy to serve and lead. The egocentric leadership it's not effective.
Right.
Let me just say that. Putting people first is important, and it's still important. And you can still serve and lead, and you can still make money doing it, and you can still help people and put people first. So Mariani, I just want to say thank you. We honor you. We see you. And we just want to tell you that you're loved, and we appreciate you for all the work that you're doing in the community, especially in the financial space. So we appreciate you. And this is your time. Take a bow, my sister.
Thank you, Cherise. Thank you all.
Yes, I'm so happy. So let me just put up, let me just say, how can people contact you, Mariani? Let me put
okay. Well, I am very personable. Okay. So the number that you're going to get is me. You're going to get me. So you can contact me directly at 678 778 2930. Okay, 678-778-2930. You all, there are no dumb questions there's no dumb questions, period. The only dumb question there is the one that somebody failed to ask. So I'm here to help you, on the credit side. And as a matter of fact, Cherise, I help clients in all 50 states as well as Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. So wherever you are, I can serve you. I can help all clients in all 50 states, even on the real estate side. So I'm here to serve you if you will allow me to. So again, that's 678-778-2930. And for those that may choose to utilize my service, whether you're looking at the show now or tonight, let me just say I'm going to do something extremely special in terms of the startup fee for this group right here. So if you call me, you text me, make sure you mention that you got the information from this show right here so that I can honor my word.
Fantastic. So I just posted the information. You see it scrolling on the bottom. Just text iron with your name to 678-778-2930 so Mariani could do that. And she's definitely a woman of her word for sure. And you will definitely read her. Oh, yes. Someone is asking where they can get the book.
Oh, okay. Well, awesome. So same thing. If you could, so you all, let me just be this. I'm very transparent, right? So I'm new at being an author, right? So I don't have a website yet. So again, 678-778. So if you want a book, just shoot me a quick text and I'll connect with you. Right now, we're taking orders through Zelle and PayPal. It'll soon be up on Amazon, but I'm not this big, I'm just Sharice hated me saying that earlier. I was like, I'm just little old Mariani, out here just trying to do the work of God. So you can get a book, Ashaki, by just texting me and saying, hey, I want to get a book, and I'll definitely get you the information. So thank you so much for that. And if you're out of state, I'll make sure that we get it shipped to you. But if you're in the state of Georgia, I'll actually be having a drive-by meet and greet. So yeah, that's how you'll get the book. Just that number. It works well.
Okay, that's fantastic. So Ashaki said, thank you. Well, listen, I am super, Desiree Foster wants to book. Des also wants to book as well. Well, so listen, ladies, thank you guys so much for watching. Mariani, again, I am super proud of you and I'm so glad that you were able to come on. Thank you for being the inaugural guest for 2021. Yes. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, get your money and your finances in order. I'm coming for y'all. I'm just putting it out there. Okay. Listen, I got some fire with the ladies that I'm bringing on and some of the men. They're going to talk to you about your money and your estate planning and all of that. Listen, and I'm talking to myself too. I just want you to know that when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. So just so you know, so I'm excited about the following couple guests that we have coming up. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you guys again next Friday for Living Today with our next guest. We're going to be talking about, no, I'm not going to tell you who it is. Just wait. I like to keep stuff secret, Anyway, love you guys, and I'll see you guys next Friday. This has been Living Today, and we're just going to say goodnight to Mariani. Love you, Mariani. Thank you for being on. Good night, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. I'm just so excited, and we're going to sign off now. Have a blessed and amazing weekend, guys. Bye.